Hi everyone, this is Lady T with your Aries April message for just a quick check-in, what's going on kind of thing. Um, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel and I appreciate all of the likes and shares and really helping me at this time with that. I thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on, Aries. Okay, so here I've done, your tarot cards over here. So the first card that you have in the center here is Nine of Cups. So you're wanting your Nine of Cups. You're wanting fulfillment. But you do have a crowning card of fear. So you're fearful at this time with the Nine of Swords, maybe, up in your head, worrying, very anxious at this time. And then you have undermining you is understanding that you were born for leadership. You were born for some other path or some other existence, meaning your life fulfillment, your life path, different than what you are on right now. And so you are born for leadership because you have the enthusiasm, the passion, the creativity to do that. What led up to this is competition. Okay, with the Five of Wands. So feeling, maybe that you are having to compete with others, and not necessarily a bad thing for you because, you wipe out the competition. You bring all the skill set to the table. But you don't really, you're like, why am I competing kind of thing, that kind of thing. But then it could also be the competition within yourself to achieve your own fulfillment. And then you have the Eight of Swords, which is isolation, and basically feeling trapped potentially. But remember, with the Eight of Swords, that is all about needing to understand that that is a self-fulfilling kind of thing, meaning that you are doing it to yourself. So just keep that in mind. Let's give some other stuff out here with your advice cards to try to help you get out of this Eight of Swords. But this is, maybe you isolating and being by yourself when you really don't need to isolate. Maybe you need to be around other people at this time to keep your spirits high, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have for advice for you. And I drew from 5 different decks, so we got a lot of advice out here for you. So the first card was from the Ogum rune deck. And the first card you got was action, assertion, and objectivity with Holly. So here, again, that leadership is kicking in here. You need to take action. You know that you need to be assertive when you do so, but you also need to be objective because that's what makes a good leader. Also, you have elder, and you have transition, evolution, continuation. So this is, again, maybe going to the next level kind of thing, right? Going through an awakening, stepping up your game, becoming that leader as you move forward. And having the faith and confidence to do so, that's the other thing that just came to me. You've got next honeysuckle, manifestation or will. Okay, so using your manifestation powers to get what you desire, willing that into reality. And then the next one is your growth card, which is conflict resolution and communication. And again, conflicts are bound to come because each person is different, so therefore you see things differently. But don't let that deter you as you move forward, because you are meant to be a leader. Okay, we're just working on, basically smoothing out the rough edges right now, getting you out of that fear. Understanding that maybe you do need isolation to maybe go within and think about some things, because we'll see as we get through some of these other cards, maybe that's needed. But be careful about isolation, okay? Don't over isolate, okay? And make sure that you're getting the balance of being around people, isolating when you think it's necessary kind of thing, but don't do that on the regular, because that could lead you, down a negative spiral of perhaps depression as well, okay? So just be conscious of that. So here we have, these are the Esther Hicks money law of attraction kind of cards. The first one, my attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. So the more that you're focusing on the fear that you're going through right now with the crowning energy, or the isolation that you have with the outcome energy, then that's not going to get you where you're wanting to be. So we've got to turn that kind of thinking around, and get out of that by using affirmations, or getting with spirit and asking them to help you. Having your spirit team help you at this time would be a good thing as well. And talking to others and getting other people's advice might be beneficial as well. It comes not by magic, but by universal law. Again, going back to the law of attraction. If you want your desires, when you overly focus on your desires, that's another thing that is misunderstood about law of attraction. With law of attraction, you put your desires out there and you leave it. Being in the Eight of Swords, which is a feeling trapped kind of thing, or feeling in fear, is counter to what you're wanting. You're wanting your desires. But if you want your desires, then you have to basically put them out there and leave them alone, and let the universe take it from there kind of thing. But focusing, or being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like continually checking or continually focusing on it, or those kinds of things. That's not manifestation. That's letting your fear drive you. And so again, just bringing that to your attention. Okay, so here we have, I can always tell a different financial abundance story. So again, changing that record that you play inside your head, that you're not worthy, it's not going to happen, whatever you're saying to yourself. Because first of all, spirit knows you're worthy, right? They wouldn't have planted the seed of leadership in you if you couldn't handle it. They wouldn't have planted the wonderful uniqueness of you in you, if you couldn't handle whatever it is that you're meant to do. Okay, so, really changing the story you're telling yourself about finances and abundance in general. We also have, where whenever I am feeling good, I am attracting good. So keeping that high vibe, if you notice yourself starting to slip, then do whatever it is that you need to do to bring yourself back to that high vibe. Not to say that you're not going to have moments. We all have moments. But this is about you basically writing a new narrative to the story. What story do you want to write? And how do you stay in that vibration to make sure that law of attraction kicks in for you to bring it to life, bring it to reality? And then we have, I am developing the skill to direct my thoughts. Again, this is all what we're talking about here. Taking control of the story you're telling yourself, changing the story that you're telling yourself, right? Okay. Now we've also got, these are the soul coaching oracle. And the first one is joy. Joy and ecstasy flow through me wildly and freely. And maybe that's it. Maybe you just need to have some fun. Okay. And understand attitude of gratitude and having that joy, to really, come up and bubble. Be thankful. Get into the attitude of gratitude about anything and everything. Waking up this morning, looking outside and seeing the painting that, Spirit gives us every day. It's unique. No two paintings in the sky are the same from one day to the next. Really, getting into that attitude of gratitude and getting into that place of joy and peace and harmony, I think is really going to also be helpful for you. You got light for your next card. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. And so shining your light, understanding that your light is beautiful, and letting it shine. That's the message I'm getting from that. Beauty. I am deeply and profoundly beautiful. This tells me that there's a part of you that does not feel this way, for you to get this card. So what I'm saying to you is, you are unique. You are beautiful. Spirit knew what they were doing when they created you. They made you just the way you're meant to be. Everything that you have on you now has come from life. Okay, it has nothing to do with what Spirit created. Okay, so this is really about letting go of all of the layers that life has put on you, so that you can step into the real beauty of who you are, inside and out, because Spirit doesn't make anything but beauty. Okay? So here we go, truth. I live my truth. Really, walking into what is your truth? What is the story you're telling yourself? Is that true, or is that something you believe, something that was put on you, that you believe from, an outside source? That kind of thing. Really, digging deep to get into that and clear that out. Awakening. I am joyously awake and aware and ready for anything. Yeah, stepping into that new creativity, that leadership position that you were always meant and created for, but also awakening to your truth, the light within you, the joy within you, the beauty within you, and having the sense of freedom, which is your next card. Boundless freedom surges through me, and having the enthusiasm for life. I celebrate everything in my life, and I live in limitless joy. When you can get into that energy, the manifestation of your dreams, wishes, and desires is a given. And you're not even worried about it. See, that's the thing. When you get it, you don't worry about that stuff anymore, because you know that Spirit has got your back. Okay, let's talk about some of the cards that you got for, what is this that called? This is called the Divine Abundance Oracle. And the first card you get is clearing. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such is freedom. And understanding that Source provides all of your needs. And getting back to that attitude of gratitude, getting out of that, you create everything. No, actually you co-create, in the, but that everything comes from Source. And really just, shifting the thinking there is really, I think, what's being asked for you, to clear out all of that. Again, clear up that record. Tell a different story. A non-duality. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. So you can have a relationship with divine. You can understand Source. Source is wanting that relationship with you, but you cannot just walk alone. It's not going to work that way. That's not how life goes. You believe in a higher purpose, whether it's God, whether it's Spirit, whether it's universe, whatever you want to call it. We all know there's a higher purpose, right? We know that we were created from something. So now you're being called to go back to the originator, to the source, to clear out all of those other things that were put on you through life, and being human, right? And so that you can walk in the fullness and the abundance of who you truly are. Outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your will's release. Dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed. I am open to receive. So really just surrendering. Yeah, surrender's out here too. And that's what this is about. Being so open, taking your hands off the wheel and letting Spirit drive. That's what this is about. Your path. Dear Lord, help me to trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. Yeah, when you can't see where you're going, the natural tendency for anyone is to want to control, is to want to try to force their will upon the universe. The universe is looking like, yeah, okay, that ain't happening. And that's why it's a co-creation. It's a give and take. You give by spending your time with Spirit and allowing them to run the show, right? Because we're really not in control of anything, and so when we give up the control, we surrender, which is letting go and surrender. Back to back cards for you, right? Letting go of the past, letting go of the narrative that you've told yourself for however long, letting go of anything that does not serve you going forward. You've got to walk into this leadership position. You know it, you feel it within your soul. I know you do, because you wouldn't get that card and you wouldn't get these other cards either if that weren't true. So letting go of everything, and it's talking about everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Yeah, because the true understanding of relationship with spirit and how everything works is we're not in control of anything. We think we are because that's our ego. But the bottom line is we all have a path. We all have a purpose. We have things that we are meant to do, lessons to learn, and so forth. And I think at this time for you, Aries, your lesson is to learn that you are a co-creator with spirit and that you can do both. You can, walk in the strength and fullness of knowing that, still be your authentic self and still get everything you desire, as you understand that give and take, that reciprocity between you and spirit. Surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as though you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest, to stop trying to control the whole universe. Yeah, because the more you try to control, the more it doesn't happen, the more you're going to get into fear, and it's just going to be a vicious cycle. So I really hope that you are willing to take the advice given today and just really let that go and let spirit handle it. Spirit is not going to lead you astray. Signs. Instincts are the message from the inner divine. So trust your instincts. Trust what you're feeling. Trust the guidance that you're getting, because Spirit's trying to talk to you. They're trying to give you all kinds of signs. And here's one of them, this reading. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at, these are the, give me just a second, receive oracle cards. And so I got some of those for you as well. The first one is soothe your loneliness. I'm willing to feel love and connection in ways better than I ever imagined. And so again, by doing, all of this connection with spirit and letting go and clearing out things, changing that record that you're playing inside your head, whatever that record is saying to you, and really stepping into who spirit created you to be, because spirit created you to be beautiful, unique, talented, what was the word that just came to me? Full of life, and right now you're not shining your light. You're not even, you're dimming your light because you're walking from an old record, an old story that you're telling yourself that's not true. It doesn't fit you anymore. So it's time to shed that by awakening, and feeling that freedom and that enthusiasm, walking in your truth, getting your joy back, all of that. But the other thing too is understanding that you may need some time of isolation to do this work. Okay, it's not to say that you shouldn't isolate, but this is saying balance is really key. Soothe your loss. I'm willing to receive more love, not less, as I honor my loss. Now, again, we talked about. Let's see. Here is it. Yeah, surrendering. Okay, surrendering. You almost feel like you are like losing a part of yourself. So when you surrender, you know what you're losing? You're losing all that negativity. You're losing all of those things in the past that either told you weren't good enough or you felt like you weren't good enough. And then you took that in. You really believe that. And spirit is trying to get you to understand that that is not true, has never been true, and it's not going to serve you moving forward. So you may feel a little bit of a loss with the full moon and the energy that's around everybody right now. We're all going through this at the same time, believe it or not. We are all feeling a loss of some sort because this energy is clearing out things. And so whenever it's clearing out things, you do have a small period of time where you feel like you're losing a part of you, because you are. You're losing the part that tells you you're not enough. There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't feel good while it's happening. Okay, receive space. I'm willing to joyfully receive space for me. Receive your needs. Okay, so just basically understanding that you get to create your space. You get to create and decide what's best for you in any given situation. Receive availability. I am willing to receive nurturing by being available for myself. So be there for yourself. Gentle self-care, self-love, all of that is needed for you at this time. Be unselective. I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. So that again is going back to that letting go of control, letting spirit lead you. You may not know where you're going, but trust that spirit's got you. And that'll bring you into a space of receiving with ease and getting into the flow for the law of attraction to bring those things in that you have put out there as your desires. And then soothe your worry. I'm willing to receive soothing comfort in unexpected and unexpected ways. So again, your angels, your spirit team is all around you. Call on them when you need it. But also, you're going to have people surround you at this time to support you. And if you need something, ask your angels, ask your people, communicate. Okay. Well, I most certainly hope that this helps you, Aries. I see nothing but good things for you. Not to say that you're not going to have your moments, because when you're going through an awakening, when you're going through, clearing out those things that have held you down, held you back, it's not an easy journey, but it's most certainly worth it on the other side. So much love and light, Lady T.